Hello everybody and welcome to the Derek Ruby Show. I am your host, the previously mentioned Mr. Ruby, and this is Halloween month right here on the Derek Ruby Show. And what better way to celebrate the season of Halloween than with a special guest to talk about Last Year, the Nightmare. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a representative from Elastic Games and Last Year, the Nightmare. He is the executive producer, Justin Vasquez. Justin, welcome to the Derek Ruby Show. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very well, Derek. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for being on. Now, Justin, you guys just launched a new trailer. It's got the whole internet buzzing. But for those who don't know much about the game, will you tell us the basic premise of Last Year, the Nightmare?
Happy to. Last Year, the Nightmare is an exciting, visceral, online multiplayer asymmetrical game where 5 players have to work together as these teenagers who are trapped in a scary dimension that looks a lot like their own, but is completely abandoned and way spookier. And as they're trying to escape from this dimension, the 6th player is playing as this unstoppable, unrelenting, almost supernatural killer who's out to cut them down in their tracks. It's this interplay between these two parties that creates really memorable moments and really exciting gameplay. And we can't wait for everyone to get their hands on it.
Well, it sounds really promising. I know that I'm looking forward to it. So how many languages will the game be available in at launch?
We'll be shipping with 2 languages supported, English and French. And we hope as the game grows and the audience grows that we'll be able to add other languages to that roster, especially if there's a given demand from a particular segment of the population.
Well, that's going to be good news for a lot of people around the world, I'm sure. So what are the basic system requirements to run the game?
Right now, we're doing our system requirements tests with our really diligent quality assurance team. So we're not sure what the specs are. We want to make sure that the game can reach the widest audience possible, but we still want it to represent the level of quality that we want associated with Elastic. So as soon as we have that information, we'll update the community.
Well, that's good to hear. Elastic Games decided to partner with Discord at launch, and Discord just launched a First on Discord trailer, which features Last Year, the Nightmare first in the trailer, which is very historic, by the way.
Absolutely. We were really excited to be partnered with Discord in this historic launch and to be one of the pioneers, one of the trailblazers on this brand new platform. To us was an opportunity we could not pass up.
Well, many people feel that more eyeballs would have been on the product with Steam. So why was the decision made to partner with Discord?
That's an excellent question. Besides the historic factor, which was very appealing, it's always an honor to be able to be a trailblazer in this industry. There was also a question of common values. Discord is a company that really values its user base and its community, and that's something that Elastic Games feels strongly about, especially with our flagship title Last Year, the Nightmare. This is a game that we want to support with new features and content for years to come. And we want that content, those features, to be shaped by the feedback that we're getting from our fan base, from our community, both of players, so creating new content for them like killers, new maps, new features that they may be asking for, as well as our content creators and streamers, creating new features that could help them put on a better show for their viewers. And so that common focus on community was something that made Discord really attractive to us as an industry partner. And so we thought it was a natural fit.
Well, will there be crossplay between Discord and Steam?
So right now, we are focusing 100% of our effort on making the Discord launch as smooth as possible. And after that, we'll turn our focus to bringing the game to other platforms. Of course, cross-platform play would be ideal, and it's something that we desperately want. It'll really have to depend on the technological abilities between the 2 platforms to be able to bring that to life. But you can bet that it's something that Elastic, Discord, and I believe Steam as well will be working together to make a reality.
That would be pretty good because that will ease a lot of the tension in a lot of the players' minds.
Well, the last thing we want is to split our player base in any way, be that by platform or with content. And so we're going to do the best we can here at Elastic Games to ensure that that's as limited as possible. We want everyone playing last year, and hopefully we want them playing however they want with whomever they want.
Well, will there be any exclusive cosmetics for Discord players, such as a shirt or hat or jacket, some kind of outfits or something?
Right now, I'm not at liberty to disclose that, but it is something we're looking into.
Well, in your opinion, Justin, what will make Last Year the Nightmare stand out from other games in the asymmetrical genre?
That is a fantastic question. The overall thing that makes it stand out is really the tone and pace of the game. It's very different from everything else out there. The tone is much more over the top, dramatic, spectacular, and at times fun and funny and cool. Whereas the pace of the game is really vibrant, visceral, and fast-paced, which already, once you get your hands on the controller, gives it a completely different feel from anything else that's out there. The main reason that comes across is because of our 3 innovative features. And these features are on both sides of the player fence. So for the survivors, for the teenagers, the innovations we have are what we call our class system and our crafting system. So after you choose your teenager, before the round begins, you'll be able to choose a class. That class will determine not only your primary instrument, but it'll also determine what kind of role you'll be playing in the group as you're trying to escape. That, in combination with our crafting system, where you can gather scrap and then craft new items to help stave off the killer or even push back, or even fight back against the killer, makes each survivor experience very unique. Since each class can craft different objects, it's really a matter of the players working together to figure out what are the best items to craft in combination with each other and how to work together using their special skills to help them escape alive. On the killer side, we have this incredible feature called Predator Mode, where the killer can actually unspawn from the map and then fly around the map really fast, finding the other players, laying traps and poisoning scrap loot boxes, and then waiting for that perfect opportunity to spawn back into the map and take them down viciously. The interplay between these 3 systems, the class system, the crafting system, and Predator Mode, is what makes every gameplay experience completely unique and very memorable. And that's the main reason we think Last Year the Nightmare stands apart from other games in the genre.
How many maps will we be looking to see at launch, and what are they, and will future maps be free?
At launch, we'll have 3 maps that all take place in the school theme, the East Side High theme. Right now, we don't want to reveal exactly what the maps are, where they take place, but at launch, we'll have the 3 maps in the East Side High theme. Future maps will hopefully take us to other places in the Last Year universe. That's not to say we may never come back to the school. If down the line, if people really liked a certain kind of map, we may look into making more of those. But we really want to expand the universe and bring players to different places and give them new experience in each of those places. We're not sure what our model is, but right now we're leaning towards maps being free because, again, we don't want to split the player base, the community apart. The second maps become paid. That's when some people can play on it and others can't. We want to ensure that everyone has a great time playing Last Year. So maps will likely be free in the future.
Well, that's excellent news, Justin. Because, a lot of people, like you said, if they don't have the same map, they can't play together. So the fact that you guys are leaning that way is a very good sign. Now, will the game have a playable tutorial for players to learn the basics?
That's an excellent question. At launch, we're not going to have a tutorial. There's a certain aspect of fun involved in experimenting with the mechanics and learning how to play as you go. We have prompts that help the player as they're playing and let them know what are some of the abilities that they're able to do. But we're also looking into other types of content that could help the community get to know the features instead of a proper tutorial where players are kind of like handheld through these series of tests. If we see that it's something that the community is crying out for, then we'd be really happy to look into that in the future. But right now, we're hoping that the community can sort of help each other develop the skill sets, and we're also looking into other means of communicating to the community how to best play the game.
How will the lobbies work? Will it be random as to who the killer is, or do you get to just pick which side you want and wait for other players? Who will be the host of the game, and more specifically, if I just want to play with my friends and I don't want to play solo, am I going to be able to do that?
That is an excellent question, and absolutely. Right now, we give players the ability to host their own games, and if you want to find a specific server, let's say you want to play with your friends, as you create a host game, you can have your friends find the server, go into your game, and you can play together. If you just want to go in and grab any match, we have a quick match option, and we'll try to pair you with players that are around the same skill level as you based on certain factors in the game. As for who gets to be the killer and who gets to be the survivors, once everybody's in your lobby, anybody can opt in to play as the killer. If only one person opts in, then they're automatically the killer. If no one opts in, we randomly select someone. And if a bunch of people opt in, then we randomly select between the people who have opted in. If you're playing with your friends, however, and you're playing multiple rounds, no one can play as the killer twice in a row, giving everybody a chance to get their hands on the killer.
Well, that's actually really excellent news, because I know personally I've had frustrations with other games where you play a game for 2 hours and you never get to be the killer. So that's a very good feature.
It is, and we're very happy that we found a solution that allows everyone to get their hands on the killer and also gives a bit of, randomness and a fun factor to see who's going to be the killer. But what we really focused on was making sure that both experiences are uniquely entertaining in their own way. Personally, I love playing as the survivors. I love working together to try and escape. I love playing as all the different classes and using all of the tools at their disposal. And I love being scared when the killer comes out of nowhere, surprises me, and it's even fun when I die because our executions are so over the top and fun and dramatic. For us, it wasn't about hoping to be the killer and being disappointed when you get to play as a teenager. For us, we really wanted, no matter what your play experience is, it's going to be fun and it's going to be memorable and you're going to enjoy it.
Now, you touched on the class system earlier about playing the students, that when you die and respawn, you get to pick a different class. However, when you play as a killer and you die and respawn, my understanding is you come back as a different killer. Now, does the game decide that for you, or do you get to pick which killer you're going to come back as?
So at launch, we're going to have 3 distinct killers, and each one has their own specific set of skills and abilities. As such, choosing your killer is really a strategic and tactical decision, which means that when you die, before you respawn, you'll be able to pick which killer you come back as. The only restriction is you can't respawn as the killer you just died as. So let's say you're playing as a slasher. You start off with him because he's really bulky and he's good in crowds, so you want to thin the herd a little bit. So you go and you take out a survivor or two, but then they take you down through their cleverness and their abilities. When you respawn, you'll be able to choose between the Strangler and the Giant. And at that point, you have to ask yourself, okay, do I want to try to isolate them and take them out one by one using the Strangler? Or do I want to charge in again now that there's only a few of them and finish them off with the Giant? Every time you respawn, you'll get to make that choice over and over again.
When it comes to these matches, what is the time limit for the matches and what are the win conditions? Besides the obvious, I kill everybody, everybody escapes. So let's say nobody dies, nobody escapes. Is it a draw?
Those are great questions. To answer the first one, every match is 15 minutes long. That's how much time the students have to escape. If they don't escape within that time limit, the killer wins by default. So besides the obvious win conditions of getting out alive and the killer killing everybody, right now we're working on features to encourage players to not just win by beating the other side, but win by putting on the best show possible. That's what's really important about last year, is that it's not just about, coming out on top. It's about the spectacle. It's about a show. It's about putting on a great experience, like a good wrestling match or an intense horror movie. And that's what we want to bring to life with last year. And so we're designing features to encourage players to do that.
Well, when it comes to these matches, will there be a leveling system of some kind, granting you perks, add-ons, XP, and cosmetics? And if there is, will that be shared between your characters?
So any future feature development is going to be influenced not just by what we think is best for the game, but also by what feedback we get from the community. So right now, we're waiting until we get our version 1 out into the open to really start committing to what features we want to spend time on. But until then, people can go to our website, lastyearthegame.com. They can join our Discord server. We have a frequently asked questions page there that we're constantly updating, and it's really the best place for people to get information as it comes out.
Well, will there be any punishment for players who repeatedly disconnect from the game, such as the way GTA 5 puts trolling players together, or maybe some kind of soft ban system?
We're hoping that the community can sort of police itself in a lot of ways, but we do want to work with our partners at Discord to ensure that if there are problematic players, we have solutions in place to ensure that they're not ruining the experience for other players.
Now, Justin, my personal definition of a balanced asymmetrical game, which is not everybody else's, but it's a powerful force versus a team of people. In my mind, for this game specifically, 3 out of 5 people should die on average. Now, I'm not saying a whole team shouldn't win, or that the killer shouldn't kill everybody sometimes, but I feel the average should be in the killer's favor just a little. What is your opinion on what a balanced asymmetrical game is?
For us at Elastic, a balanced asymmetrical game is one where everybody feels challenged and excited and that they're fulfilling their version of the fantasy that they're playing. There's a fantasy to being a powerful supernatural killer. And if the killer was underpowered or wasn't anything special, we wouldn't be hitting that fantasy. We really wanted it to have that slasher movie feel of this almost supernatural, unstoppable force. And we believe that the Predator mode and all the different unique abilities to each killer has brought that fantasy to life. For the survivors, there's equally a fantasy. When we watch horror movies, we see survivors start off confused and scared, not knowing what to do, and then eventually they have to band together, work together, and find creative solutions to escape with their lives. And the combination of the class and the crafting system really brings that to life. There's nothing more satisfying than playing as a scout and realizing that the killer is nearby and warning your friends so that they can make preparations. Or being the medic and helping your friend who's an assault class take on the killer by healing him in the background while he's trying to take him out. Or playing as a technician, saving up enough scrap to craft a flamethrower and get in the face of the killer and burn him down. It really feels like that Act 3 moment in a classic horror film when you really bring that to life with the mechanics. As for who comes out on top and who wins most often, when we play ourselves here at Elastic Game, we play the game a lot, and we've all become pretty good at it. It's usually a toss-up of how many people the killer gets and how many survivors get out alive. When we've taken the game on the road at PAX and our devs play as the killer, not a single team has gotten 5 people out alive. A few have gotten close, but no one's done it yet. So we think that we're striking that balance. Hopefully at launch, players will feel the same, but it's always something that we're going to be constantly tweaking and perfecting so that the game feels satisfying and exciting for both sides.
Now, assuming the game is successful, and I'm pretty sure it will be, you touched on earlier that you guys plan on fully supporting the game after it comes out. That's correct, right?
That is absolutely correct.
So we should be looking forward to new maps, killers, and things of that nature.
Absolutely. We want Last Year the Nightmare to grow during its lifespan with the community, to not only get bigger, but to get deeper. That's why one of the first things we'll be looking at is some kind of progression system, some kind of system that'll keep people engaged and setting goals for hours upon hours. And we're also looking at new maps, new killers, new teenagers, a whole slew of content and features that we think would be interesting to the players. But for us, the most important thing is making sure that initial experience is really fun, getting the community involved and excited, and then understanding what's resonating with the community so that we can bring you more of that and keep everyone engaged and excited about the game.
Well, final question, Justin. Are there any final thoughts that you would like to say to your fans?
I'd like to say everyone here at Elastic really appreciates the patience and support that everyone has shown in the development of this game. It's been a huge labor of love for everyone here. And we are so excited about getting this game into your hands because of how much passion we've poured into it. And we hope it resonates with you the way it does with us. We hope it's as visceral, exciting, and scary, fun, cool, and funny as we think it is. We're really honored that everyone has been so supportive throughout the development of this product, and we can't wait to get in there with you.
Well, Justin, thank you for being on the Derek Ruby Show. You were an excellent guest. It was a pleasure, and you're welcome back here anytime. Thanks
for having me, Derek. It was really exciting to be on the show, and I really appreciate you giving me the chance to talk about our game. Last Year, The Nightmare, coming this fall, first on Discord for $29.99. Hope to talk to you soon.
Well, thanks a lot, Justin. Take care, buddy.
You too.
That was a very informative interview. Thanks to Elastic Games and the team over there at Last Year, The Nightmare. Thanks to the executive producer, Justin Vasquez, for being a great guest. And thanks to Jay Acevedo, the head of brand and marketing, for making this happen. And more importantly, thank you guys for watching the Derek Ruby Show. And I hope you're enjoying our Halloween month. I have much more planned for this Halloween season, and I hope you guys will stick around. And you never know what kind of special surprises we're going to have on the show, and that's the perks of being a variety channel. Don't forget to stay for the extra credit scene at the end, and with that being said, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. And as always, have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you for having me, Derek. I really appreciate you having me on the show so I can talk about Last Year, The Nightmare, coming this fall, first on Discord.
And the game is only $29.99, folks.
Yeah, I totally should have done that. Can I try again?
Yeah, because it's, because now it sounds like we're doing a commercial together. So, hey, guys, check out Last Year. The Nightmare is going to be on Discord for only $29.99. And if you pre-order now, we'll give you a big thank you.